Well, hello, and thank you for stopping by. This is volume 217 of My Prostate is Trying to Kill Me. I'm Mark Graves, just a regular guy fighting prostate cancer, and I'm happy to have you along for the ride. Sorry, the voice is a little weak this morning. Stayed up late last night binging The Sopranos after having to gone to see the new James Bond movie, which I highly recommend. It was fantastic. Went to the dentist this morning, so abscess over here. So I know it'd be hard to tell if my face was swollen because of all the crap down here, but it is. So I'll have another video tomorrow and I'll update you on the rest of that. But the reason we're doing this video is because Steve the Animal Nelson did a video. Boy, it's been a couple of weeks ago now, right? That the race was supposed to go.
It's been a couple of weeks.
Okay. So we had Steve on here. We told you about his story of doing Ironman competitions, even though he has prostate cancer. And so he went up north, got all ready for that. And what happened, Steve?
So we had a bunch of people rented a house. Everybody showed up, which was awesome. So we had a really, really good support group. We've got just awesome, incredible friends that volunteer their time and energy and everything to come up just to support us. It is a big event. It takes a lot of support, it takes a lot of help. When you finish a race like that, you're completely brain dead, and it's really nice to have people that can think and just go like, you need to come over here with us. We need to get you over there. So we have a really, really good house full of people. The weather turned from being nice to literally crap. All the weather reports were, this big storm's coming in, this big storm's coming in. So we get ready for the race. We take our bikes to the stadium, put the bikes where they belong. Nice sunny day. We do our athlete briefing, which is one of the big things that they do, just tell you everything that's going on. And then you kind of go home and just get off your feet. The trick is just do as little as possible the day before the event. And so everybody's watching the weather because the weather's saying this monster storm's coming in. And we're going like, well, it's saying like 80% rain, then it goes to 90% rain, then it says 100% rain. Then it says like 20-mile-an-hour winds, all this stuff going on. Probably 8 o'clock at night-ish, someplace in there, 7, 8 o'clock at night, we get a text message coming through saying the storm's coming in and it had started raining and that they were going to cut the bike portion from 112 miles to 56 miles, cut it in half, just for safety. But the pros were still going to race the whole thing. I'm not a pro, so I was actually pretty happy that we were going to cut the bike portion down to 56, because that put me recovering, from prostate cancer, recovering from all this in a good position. I felt with that distance, yes, it wasn't going to be a full Ironman, but it was going to be a good race. It was going to be a fun day. And it just kind of put me into that position that I could absolutely do this whole thing from being a little bit hesitant, that I could actually do the whole race. So it's pouring rain. The whole crew, all of our friends and everything, we go to bed, we get up in the morning. It's pouring rain in the morning. We all look at each other and go like, well, let's get on with it. So this is 4 in the morning. We get up. Everybody puts the bottom half of their wetsuits on. My daughter gets in her car and heads off because she was going to do water safety. So she was going to be on a paddleboard doing water safety, making sure that we were all safe. So she heads off. She's good. All of our volunteers are up. All of our volunteers, we eat breakfast. Everything's ready. We all get in our cars. We head to the stadium. So from the stadium, you're going to put your bags for the day, buy your bikes and have everything set up. And then we're going to take a bus from the stadium over to the swim start. So we'd already scoped the course out. It was going to be interesting, but with all the rain, it was going to be a big mud fest and you slog through mud, but that's the way it was. So everybody gets up in the morning. We go to the stadium. It's pouring rain. Nobody thinks twice. Everybody gets out of their cars. Everybody grabs their bags and we start heading into the stadium. And like I said, it's pouring rain, but everyone's mental attitude and everything is race is on, your head's in the race, everything's going. And then a few athletes come out and go, race is canceled. I'm going, what do you mean? And then like a parking lot attendant says, yeah, the race is canceled. And what's going through our heads is we're so focused now on race. We're in race mode. Your head's in it 100%. No matter what, you're going to do this, and nothing's going to stop it. I mean, this is the mental attitude. And we get closer, and one of the race officials was like, yes, the race is canceled. Boom, somebody, because we don't even have cell phones with us at this point. Cell phones are illegal during the race, so we just leave those cell phones with other people. One of our support crew gets the text messages going like, race is completely canceled. We're sorry, but, and what's interesting is you go from, you're so into this race. Your mind is so into this race. You're so focused on everything that you're going to do, and they cancel it. And it takes a while to get your head wrapped around that they cancel it. I mean, it's just devastating. I mean, so the first thing is just like big emotions of like, what do you mean they canceled it? I mean, we're here, we're going to race. And you really get emotional that they canceled it because your head is so deeply into the race. So they did cancel it. We all turned around. We all went back to the house. We had some other friends that were also racing with us. We called them up and said, hey, race is canceled. You guys are in hotels. We've got this house. Come over to the house, and we're just going to sit around all day, talk, watch TV, watch the football games, and drink. And so literally everybody came over to the house, and we just kind of partied all day and watched this horrific storm come through. And we're getting updates and stuff about what's going on with, what are they going to do? What are they going to do later? We got looking at the course, we got looking at the weather, looking at the news, and said, we have 3,500 racers that are going to be out on the course. And we would be taking so much of the local support, the police, the fire, the EMTs, just to help us with it. The number of people that we're going to have a problem in the swim, the number of people that we're going to have a problem on the bike. It really would have overloaded their community and the support staff and everything that they have for people that really would need help, except, instead of a bunch of idiots that are out on their bicycles in this stupid weather that you shouldn't be there anyway in that kind of weather, but your head's so into it, we'd have all gone. I mean, it was just nothing to it. So the decision to cancel the race was correct. We're all super bummed. We're all sitting around going like, now what do we do? So we start making a better breakfast, and the, bubbly comes out. And so everybody's drinking mimosas, and, so we just turned it into a big party day, which was great. So we did that. Super devastated that the race was canceled. So Sacramento, that's where the race was. We were looking up like statistics on rainfall and records of rainfall. And it was like late 1880s. They had little over 4 inches of rain. That was the record. You guys can look it up. I don't know. It's about there. We had 5.44 inches of rain. So, I mean, just huge, and Mark, you're on mute, but
that's a lot of water in a short amount of time.
That's a lot of water in a short amount of time. Unbelievable amount of water. So it's a record rainfall. It's a record storm, and there were a couple people that put on the forums and stuff. They shouldn't have canceled it and stuff. And they pretty much got shut down immediately by everybody saying, no, this is the right thing to do. For us to take that amount of resources away from a community that's going to need it with record rainfall is just wrong on all levels. And so really the athletes and the support crews and everything got behind, this is the right call. We completely support Ironman for doing it. So that was great.
It's interesting because I had not even thought of that as an aspect of the race being canceled, but I mean, just an awesome point. You guys would have tied up, first responders, and everybody would have been helping you guys out. And then, little old lady stuck in her house or something because of the water. So yeah, excellent choice. Good on them for doing that.
Yeah. So there were some pictures that start coming out, and I don't have them available for me right now in this form, but some pictures started coming out. There were trees that were down on the race course, porta potties that were blown over on the race course.
Oh, I remember you showing me the ones that looked like they were in the middle of a little lake.
Yeah, that was on the run course. So the run course, so picture a porta potty, figure out how far up from the ground the step, where you would stand in the porta potty, right? So that's what, 6 or 8 inches, right? Up. And the porta potties are in water buried further than that. And that would have been part of the run course. The swim itself, I mean, I affectionately call it would have been the chunky swim, because you'd have been with tree branches and, tree trunks and just all the debris and all the garbage coming down, from everywhere.
Because you guys were actually swimming across one of the rivers.
2 rivers. We started in the American River, and we're going to finish in the Sacramento River.
So everything that was coming down from above you would be in that water. I think we were talking about E. coli could possibly be in there too.
Well, everything was going to be in that. I mean, trash bags, garbage, trees, leaves. It would have been a very challenging swim.
To say the least.
Yeah. And a lot of water coming down. So even that, the volume of water would have been probably dangerous by itself. So, I mean, so these are all these little factors and all this stuff that just made anyone with common sense go, they made the right call. So there were some athletes. Athletes are great. They're hilarious. They're determined. So there were some videos, and so I recommend that people go out and try and find some of these videos. These videos are just hilarious. So one of the videos, I'll just share a couple things real quick on these. One of the videos shows a guy standing in his shower with his wetsuit on, so mimicking the swim. And then the next thing you see is he's on his bicycle in the hotel hallway, riding his bicycle up and down the hallway, then puts his bike down and then runs the hallway. So he was going to do something anyway. There were a number of people that went to like a local gym and actually swam in the pool the 2.4 miles.
Oh, wow.
Rode on stationary bikes the 112, and then treadmill ran the marathon. Now, those people they're totally insane. But that's how dedicated and determined groups of people are to do these things.
Yeah.
So for us, you didn't have to do anything, and they immediately enrolled you into next year's Ironman California, so for 2022.
Now that's the big question, because you and I had talked before this one, and you kind of felt like this would probably be your last hurrah. Where do you stand now on 2022?
I'm an idiot.
You're going to do it.
I mean, we're a bunch of stupid fools. So, yeah, we're going to do it. Part of consuming copious amounts of alcohol during the day.
Oh, you froze up there for a minute.
Football games. We're not going to do this. And so everybody pretty much decided, and we were up for anything. I mean, if everybody was going to cancel, we'd be okay with canceling. Everybody decided, no, let's go for it again next year. Let's just let it postpone for next year. And so that's what we're doing. So instead of focusing on prostate cancer and issues and problems with that, and trying to get over all the side effects and that, it'll be good. Mental focus for next year is just, let's do this race. Let's do it better than I could have done it this year. Let's really try and get in shape to do it and have a really good race. And then we'll be done next year. But it throws all your vacation plans off. So, right. we already put big calendar out for next year and started marking down trips and things that we want to do, when the big workouts are, so we can schedule around like we did last year, which is why we wanted it to be done.
So remind me now too, you've had your radiation, you're done with that. Are you on any kind of hormone treatment right now?
No, I'm not on any kind of hormone treatment at all. I am on, which is kind of funny. So I am on 50 milligrams of Viagra every day. So that's to make sure that there's adequate blood flow and that things will work better and continue to improve in those areas. So it's just kind of funny that and the doctors had to do like all this pre-approval and all of this stuff saying it's not for ED, it's actually medical treatment that's necessary.
You just picture the insurance guy going, yeah, uh-huh.
Yeah, exactly. You can just see this guy going like, yeah, you're gonna get, a 90-day supply, right? We're gonna send you this, tube with 90 pills in it. Going, I mean, it's funny on one hand. I'm grateful for the doctors. On the other hand, everybody, if you look at it, the side effects from prostate cancer, the treatments and stuff, everyone has differing levels of recovery from that. I'm doing pretty well.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So having the doctors do this, I'm doing pretty well.
Oh,
so having a lot of the bad side effects up front, and then having Mr. Happy work is pretty good.
Fantastic. Well, the nice thing is too, since you're not on a hormone treatment, you will just keep getting better. As the effects of the radiation wear off, and sometimes it takes a little while. Your fatigue level will drop, and so, man, by the time next year rolls around, you should be in a whole lot better position than you are now. Provided that our prayers stay strong and it doesn't metastasize or go anywhere else. Things are looking good. So next year is probably going to be a whole. I don't know. The word easy doesn't even come into play when you tell me what it is that you do for training, but hopefully it'll be easier than this past year was for you.
The training will be harder, but the recovery will be better from the training. My numbers and stuff will be better. I'm a very we'll call it technical trainer. We collect data. We collect telemetry. So we wear Garmin watches that collect tons of information while you do swimming. I mean, it counts every single stroke that you do. It counts your pace. So we have all of this data. Every time we're on the bicycles, we have power meters that are built into the bicycles. So we know how many watts of power our legs are outputting, and speed and temperature and all of this data. And then the running data that we collect, running pace, running gait, how much your head bounces up and down, how much you are side to side, whether you're right dominant, left dominant. We collect all this data, and then our coaches use that data to formulate our workout plans. So it's not like you just run out and go do these things. We are pretty scientific about it, and our coaches are really good about crunching the data. So next year's race, it should be a lot better than this year's race.
Awesome.
I should at least, it's hard, it hurts, it's a lot of work, but when race day comes around, I won't be feeling like, good God, I just pray to make the finish line. I should be, I've got this, and this should be good. I was disappointed that I didn't get to wear my shirt and stuff. I did wear it during some of the pre-stuff and met a bunch of really, really good guys. Met some people that I'd conversed with through the forums and stuff, and then met another guy that runs a Fuck Cancer endurance athletes team. But I'm going to join them.
Awesome.
So there's like 400 or 500 athletes and support people that do that. The guy was really cool. Talked to him at length. Ended up running into them at like the swim start, which is just crazy. You know, you don't think you're going to run into these people, right? And all of a sudden it's like, hey, I know you, you know, and then I'd help somebody on their bike ride. I usually carry a couple of tools and stuff with me. One of the guys that was doing it, and he found me. And we talked. He was like, yeah, you're the guy that gave me the tool to fix my bike on the bike ride.
That's out of thousands of people.
Out of, yeah, 3,500 plus support staff, you know, and here you are, you know. Yeah. So it was pretty cool. It's going to be challenging. We can do some updates, you know, as the training goes on.
Yeah. Well, I got to tell you, you're a huge inspiration for those of us with prostate cancer that have trouble getting up a flight of stairs. You know, you're living proof that it can be done. You know, a lot of us have a hard time getting through. I mean, people have seen on my videos, you know, the fatigue takes me over, and it is rough for me to get around, but I'm inspired because I know it's possible. So, you know, I can walk and I can go a few more houses every day, and just keep pushing, you know, and then I just keep thinking in my mind, wow, you know, Steve's out there doing Ironmans. I can make it around the block.
Hey, but for you, that's it, right? You know,
that is my, yeah, we all do what we can do, but I think, you know, I can slowly try and get that strength back. You know, I had to walk up 2 flights of stairs to the dentist this morning. I got to the top. I thought, I'm going to need a couple minutes before I go in the office here. Yeah. I was breathing pretty heavy, but I was glad I made it. So, well, yeah. I appreciate the update, and I'm going to be praying for you all this next year that the rain does not come back. And, you know, I mean, that was a historical storm that you guys had. Doesn't happen very often. It just happened to have that weekend. And I saw a lot of people on Facebook. I had a few other friends that were up there, you know, and it is disappointing. You guys had trained and were ready for that. Like you say, your head was in the game. You know, your mindset was all for that. And then to be told, hey, it ain't going to happen. So I'm glad to know that you partied with your friends and that the weekend wasn't completely wasted. You know, you're able to have a good time. So between now and the next race, we'll do some updates, find out how you're doing, how you're feeling, you know, how the cancer battle continues to go. And in the meantime, thanks for taking the time to update us on this.
Oh, you're welcome. We should have done it sooner, but you know,
best laid plans of mice and men. I'll tell you. You'd think for a retired guy that I'd be able to get more stuff done, but it's just what it is. So thank you very much for that. And for everybody watching, thanks for taking the time. I really appreciate it. Every thumbs up you guys give us is greatly appreciated. It helps the algorithm. And thanks for all the continued support too. The prayers, the positive vibes, the good thoughts, the aloha, the shaka, you know, just keeping us in your mind. I'm a firm believer that positive energy does translate. So, you know, even if you're just thinking, hey, Steve, hang in there, have a good day, I think it still helps. So thank you for that very much. And I will see you guys on the next video.